This is a special edition of my channel that celebrates the beauty of life through art. This episode features County Judge Executive Harry Clark, who had the vision to showcase the hidden talent of Appalachia and other Kentucky artists.
When I was a magistrate here, I used to come into the courthouse and when it was brand new, and I'd go in and walk through the hallway, and I'm thinking, my goodness, what wide hallways. They must be planning on driving something through here or doing something big, but it just looked so bare and so vacant. So I wanted to do something then. Of course, when you're a magistrate, you know the courthouse belongs to the judge executive. So when I became judge executive, I started out with paintings from domestic violence and drug awareness kids that put poster boards up, and we put those out in the front lobby and had those for a while. And then we decided that we would want to put something on the walls and something to decorate the place and make it look nice. So we got with Stephen and Sherwin Williams and my executive secretary, Dylan Lambert, and they went to work on it and they planned for some time. And I'm thinking, well, nothing's really happening. And then it started to grow. And they started to putting up the hangers for the photos and the pictures and all of this stuff and the paintings. And it just continued to grow. And now it's just a pleasure to watch people come in and they just come over here for that. Or they'll come in for a courthouse business, and next thing you know, they're tied up into this paintings for an hour. And that's what we wanted to do, to be able to show people what talent there is in Eastern Kentucky and right here in Morehead. And I know we have some other painters from out, but it's just amazing to me, the people that can actually has the talent here locally, and it's certainly, and anytime you get a chance, please come by and look at it.
And isn't it great to get all this hidden talent on display?
It is. It amazes me how much talent's been hidden. And I said before that there's a carpenter that I knew helped build my house. I had no idea. I knew he could read a rule, and I knew he could make a mark on a board, but I had no idea he had the talent he had to do the pictures and stuff he had. And we have a police chief, a former Morehead City Police chief. It's just amazing to look at his paintings, but it's all around us. And these people just got so much talent, and it just gives us a good feeling to be able to showcase that for everybody else to see. And I was so happy that we decided to do that here in this courthouse. It's a public building, and the public needs to be able to utilize it, and it's worked out great.
Well, and it's such a great opportunity for the artist. And you know, when you add up the hundreds of linear feet, this is one of the biggest galleries in Kentucky.
Well, it may be. I hadn't really thought about that. But that's great. That's a good point. I hadn't really thought about it. And we still got a lot of hallway left. So yeah. we do. And so we're more than welcome to add some more to it.
Well, thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
You're the carpenter that Harry was talking about.
My name's Brady Evans, and I'm from Olive Hill, Kentucky.
And what kind of art have you gotten into? What do you do?
Landscapes, sketches, people, cars, just whatever I feel like.
Oil, acrylic?
More acrylic, pen and ink.
Yeah.
Pencil.
How'd you get started?
I don't know.
Just started doing it.
Yeah.
Where's show me something down here. Let's go look at one of them here. Now, is that a print of an oil or an acrylic that you did?
That's a print of acrylic.
No, there is a but there's nothing to do with the bird.
So where's the original? Sold or hanging in your living room?
I can
Do you have any other? Oh, this one?
Those three there.
And
Fantastic. Oh, I love the light in this.
I like it. We'll see. But so
Is this back home?
That's the story. I would go there. I got the window.
From my house. Coming down my driveway.
Oh, wow. Wow. Fantastic.
And this is
It's a really sweet place. The guys
over in Bath County.
It's a really nice. It's like a community.
There's abstract artist Carrie Bartlett picked up a brush 2 years ago, and the Rowan County exhibit is the first time her work has ever been exhibited in public.
Started about 2 years ago
And
in paint pouring, and then I moved on to just regular abstract.
what is the first tonight?
The first this is my first time. My art's been hanging and in public.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And she is a member of Kentucky Appalachia Outdoor Painters,
I am.
but hasn't had a chance to get outdoors.
No, I'm very envious. I want to go.
Well, good to meet you. Please stick to the end for the most significant part of this video, an extended interview with Mike Adams, who is partially colorblind and cannot distinguish reds and greens. He relies on wife Barbara to help him match colors. Mike, a retired police chief, returned to continue serving as an officer with Morehead City Police. He started as a child with pencil and charcoal and learned from his father. He has never had any professional art training. Wait until you see his work. We conclude with my 2 paintings in the exhibit, and thanks to the 3 event sponsors. The exhibit continues through the remainder of the year at the Rowan County Administrative Offices at 600 West Main Street in Morehead, Kentucky. We're with Mike Adams, and Mike, tell us about these 3 locations, these 3 paintings. Let's start with the cabin here.
Okay, that I used for an inspiration a cabin down in near Gatlinburg, Tennessee on that one.
Oh.
And then added a few things to it, but I took a photograph. I think it's in Cades Cove, if I'm not mistaken, and used it for a reference, and then added a few other things to it. You know, just I love country stuff. I love old-timey country stuff. That's what my heritage is, and that's what I like to paint. Makes me feel good, and apparently it does other people too. They tell me they kind of go back in time a little.
Well, and it looks like you've driven around locally looking for good places to photograph.
I love Eastern Kentucky, and that's probably one of the very few that's not actually from Eastern Kentucky. I used a source.
But it could be.
But it could be. That's why I named it Appalachian Cabin. There's all over Appalachia. But of course, up here is the Goddard Bridge and Church. One of the main reasons I wanted to start to paint was I would love to have painted that bridge. So when I got started, I've painted about 5 or 6 different versions of it. But that one's kind of centered in the fall. I really like that painting. This one here is from very local. This is a picture of number 14 Morehead and North Fork Railroad, which now is defunct, of course, but used to run from Morehead and Clearfield area to, I believe, Ezell over in Morgan County, in that neck of the woods. But this is circa 1960 sometime. This, if you're looking up the road there, that's 519 would have been right there. This is Lee Clay Products. I've always wanted to paint. My dad could paint and draw, and I always was blessed to be able to draw. But unfortunately, I'm partially colorblind. That doesn't mean I can't see colors. I just don't see every color everybody else sees. And reds and greens are my major weakness. So.
And boy, greens are the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't paint grass without some green.
Yeah.
My wife, she's my color checker.
Yeah, let's go show. I want to show her name tag.
Yeah.
And zoom in on that.
That's very adequately named.
Because we got her title here.
Yeah, but like here's another painting of mine. You can see how much green there is, and then up here is another painting. And this is the Cabin Creek Bridge, another bridge here in Kentucky. But what I'll do is reds are my main weakness.
So even that orange in that fall scene of that tree, you really couldn't see the orange?
I'll tell you a story on myself. Along with that Appalachian Cabin painting, I also, that same trip we took, I took a lot of pictures of the creek or the river, that ran by those.
Yeah.
And I used for inspiration quite a few of those rocks and waterfalls. So I just basically painted a creek and rocks and waterfalls, and I painted, they had moss growing on the rocks, of course. Well, I brought it to my color checker and said, here, what do you think about this painting? And she goes, that's all right, but where's the moss? And I said, well, it's all over them rocks. She said, that's orange. And I said, well, that's moss. I still think that moss is orange to me, but I guess it's green. So, so that's where I have my colors with them, kind of messed up.
I
But
had to send him back to the
I had to go back to the drawing board, as they'll say, literally, and I had to go back and put green. I said, is this okay now? And she said, that's all right. So I have my colors laid out in a palette, and I know what they are. I book know what will work. I've studied it. I didn't go to school or anything. I just tried to learn YouTube and whatever, and found out what's supposed to work. So I put them together. Like I said, most of the colors is all right, but reds and greens and purples and blues, sometimes anything that's got a little red in it, I got some problems.
Well, now, Barbara, have you learned to mix paint? Have you started to do that, or to get it to
She
where...
just checks it.
I just check it.
Yeah.
I make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
If he passes, then he can go on to the next step.
So it's very much a collaborative effort.
Yes.
I mean, for him to get to the finish, you
It
have
has to go by.
You have to
Yes.
you truly do have to do color checking
Yes.
to make sure that it...
She sent me back way more than one.
So tell me about your time on the police department.
Well, I started a long time ago.
And did I hear you were chief at one point?
Yes, I retired as chief, and I was chief for not quite half, about 6.5 years.
With
Retired.
Morehead City Police.
I was there. I started first with University Police in '86. Went to the City Police in '89, and I was there and went up through the ranks. Retired as chief in 2014. Then just at the end of 2014, they said, "Can you come back part-time?" It's extremely difficult to get personnel, and they treat me good there, and I've been
So
working.
you never got to be a full-time artist?
No.
Because your retirement didn't last
It didn't
very
last
long.
real long. Like I said, I went part-time. Now I'm back full-time now for the past year and something, but they treat me good. It's a good place to work.
We conclude with my two paintings in the exhibit, and thanks to the three event sponsors, Stephen Farah of Sherwin-Williams, Stephen Hayes of Artisan Frameworks, and Harold White, whose Lumber and Millworks is 100% Kentucky proud. He provided the wood for all the frames in the exhibit. The exhibit continues through the remainder of the year at the Rowan County Administrative Offices at 600 West Main Street in Morehead, Kentucky. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this special edition. I just love the interview with the artist.